It was only 20 minutes after Kenji had told him about the mission that Keijuo arrived at the meetup point at the camp's entrance. Kenji had a frown on his face as he gave a sharp look at Keijuo, who simply waltzed in front of them, not even pretending to be hurried as he walked toward them. "What took you so long? I'm sure that I told you to come here in 10 minutes. It's been 20. Kenji said. His voice clearly showed his frustration, and Keijuo's attitude didn't seem to be helping either. Sorry, I saw a black cat cross the road, so I had to take a longer route," Keijuo said as he pretended to be embarrassed whilst scratching the back of his head. Kenji and Yasuo simply looked at him whilst they judged him in their minds. "Never mind, you're here now, let's just get on with this mission and complete it quickly," Kenji said before he started running out of the camp with Yasuo and Keijuo following quickly behind him. As they ran, Keijuo's mind was filled with ways that he could halt the duo or just escape this mission. At that moment an idea flashed in Keijuo's mind which he quickly decided to execute. As they were running, Keijuo acted as if he slipped from the tree branch, falling down onto the ground. As he fell, Keijuo put his leg forward in an awkward position. "Hitting the ground like this will break my ankle, making it impossible for me to carry on with this mission," Keijuo thought as a small smile emerged on his face whilst the ground started getting closer and closer until finally he fell down onto the ground. Kenji and Yasuo quickly stopped and jumped down, trying to see what had happened. Looking at Keijuo, they quickly noticed his broken ankle which had a bone sticking out. It looked quite gruesome. Meanwhile, Keijuo was making a grimacing expression as he thought, "Fuck, I didn't think it would hurt this much. Dumb fucking plan. What happened? Did someone attack you?" Kenji asked as he looked around them cautiously. His hand had already grasped a kunai from his small ninja tool bag that he had tied behind his back. Slowly Keijuo shook his head. "No, I slipped." Those words caused both Kenji and Yasuo to freeze. Silence overtook the two, with the only sound being the grunts of Keijuo, who tried to withstand the pain. "Fucking bastards, help me get to a medical ninja already," Keijuo thought as he looked at the two. It was only a few moments later that Kenji asked, his voice clearly showing his confusion. "You slipped?" the man asked, his face colored in disbelief as he looked at his subordinate. "Yes, Captain. Now can you help get me back to the camp again and get some medical attention already? Breaking your ankle and being able to see your bones covered with blood isn't very fun, you know," Keijuo finally said as he got fed up with the duo who weren't doing anything. That seemed to bring the two out of their stupor as they crouched and both grabbed Keijuo's arms, hoisting him up whilst they made sure not to touch his ankle or let it touch the ground so that it wouldn't get damaged even further. Then, with the two holding him, they started getting back to the camp. Thankfully they hadn't run too far away, so the camp was still quite close. Arriving 5 minutes later, the two went back in through the front gate whilst the guards looked at them weirdly. One of them even came up and asked if something had happened, only to learn that Keijuo had slipped. "My reputation in this camp is about to go to shit, but who cares if I'm dead, then reputation means nothing," Keijuo thought as he bore the pain. A few moments later, he arrived at the medical tent where he was quickly laid down onto a stretcher and brought inside. Everywhere he looked inside the tent, Keijuo could see badly injured ninjas. Some had lost their eyes, some had lost their legs or arms, and some had even lost their ears or noses from what looked like explosions. Most of them, however, had gotten cut or wounded cleanly from the looks of it. Probably because of the inherent sharpness in lightning release jutsu and the fact that a lot of cloud ninjas use swords, Keijuo thought before he saw a young Kunoichi wearing a medical ninja outfit come close to him. She didn't speak to him and merely took hold of his leg with her hands and then pushed the bones back into his body. A loud scream pierced out of Kazuo as he felt indescribable pain when the woman put his ankle bone back inside his body. What the fuck is this bitch doing? Kazuo thought through the immense pain. A second later, he saw her hands glow green before she started healing him with what was most likely mystical palm medical jutsu. Lifting his head slightly so that he could see, Kazuo saw the wound in his ankle healing at a visible speed. Damned cheats. I want to do that too. Kazuo thought as he stared at the medical kunoichi hatefully for a split second before shaking his head. Sigh asterisk. Releasing a sigh, Kazuo thought of what he would have to do next. I'm getting too emotional. That needs to be something I check on constantly and learn to control better. This is a place where I can whine or get angry. I need to learn how to control my emotions perfectly so that others can't exploit me with them, Kazuo thought as he saw the kunoichi turn toward him. You'll have a 3-day break. Don't do anything strenuous during these 3 days and you will be back in combat-ready condition, she said before turning around and heading to her next patient. Getting up from his bed, Kazuo headed outside of the medical tent. Lots of love. Naruto author.